What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you've been following the channel for any period of time, you know that I've been doing the kind of obligatory YouTuber toolbox tour video series, right? So I've done, the sockets and the wrenches and the pliers, and I'll leave a link to that playlist up here. But what I have is a drawer specifically for electronics. Due to my day job, my real job, I guess you could say, I work in electronics by trade. I'm actually an avionics technician. I did multi-channel radio repair in the Marine Corps. So and a lot of my projects that I work on always seem to end up doing something electrical or electronic. I did the wiring on my Dodge D100 shop truck project. I fix tools when they, stuff breaks on them. I like to tear things apart and try to fix them. So I have a drawer dedicated for electronics. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive display of all the possible tools out there for electronics, and my magnet doesn't want to cooperate here. I'll get it eventually, hang on. All right, so like I said, this is no exhaustive display or an exhaustive example of any or all electronic tools, just the ones that I have found to be the most useful, the ones that I use probably a lot more often than I'd like to admit, especially since I do it my day job. I don't necessarily like doing it on projects here in the garage, but it happens. So let me pull you in here. I'll show you just what I've got going on. I got a couple of tools in there that most probably general DIYers may not have, but that do come in handy. So here you can see just a quick example of what some of my tools are. I've got the generic, butt style crimpers with the wire strippers in them. I've had these probably for, 30 years or more. I do have individual wire strippers. This goes from, the 16 down to 26 gauge. This is the more general, 10 to 18 gauge or so, 10 to 20 gauge. Definitely the more useful of the two. I have a multitude of different crimpers based on the connector that I'm working on. I've got your general, just like a butt style crimper here. This one gets a lot of use. It's actually probably my go-to. It's real quick and easy to use. I got a couple of different ones here for actually the style of connector used on my Dodge D100. Like older style automotive pins and connectors. I'll leave a link or the name. I'll put the name in the bottom of the video. I forget what they're called offhand. That's what these crimpers are for. I do a lot of weather pack connectors. So I've got crimpers here specifically for weather pack, and I actually have in the container where all my weather pack connectors are different jaws based on what size wire that I'm actually working with. This is just what I have in here. So this for weather pack, got a specific pair of crimpers for doing spark plug wires. It's a ratcheting crimper. Actually got it labeled there, so spark plugs. I've got an odd set of crimpers here. Probably not one that anybody really has out there. It's not a very common tool or a very much used tool, but these are actually crimpers for doing BNC cables. So for like your cable lines in your house, or like here, these types of connectors here, these BNCs. Got a pair of crimpers for that because I've done, I don't know how many different repairs over the years of helping friends or doing my own cable lines in the house. That's actually where this tool comes in. This is actually like a line tester for BNC cables. So what it is you would take your BNC connector on one end, you could plug this in to the connector, say in your box where all your cable lines are in the house. You plug this into the connector, then you go upstairs, say to your bedroom, or to your kids' room, or to your family room, and you could probe And there you know you found the right line. Or you plug this in, like up in the bedroom, and you go downstairs, you know, and you can basically shoot the line. That way you know you found the right line. Again, it's not a very multi-use tool. I mean, it's not a tool that I use. I probably haven't used this tool in the last 10 years I've been in this house now. But when you need it, it comes in handy. You could probably use it for other lines other than BNC, as long as you can get, say, a pin. That's a pretty small pin. But you could probably use it for other wiring checks. I've never really tried, but might be worth trying. I've got a number of different types of tools for depinning connectors. These are all plastic and metal, the plastic body, metal tips, plastic tips for depinning different size connectors. Got a number of other ones here for different types, some flat ones for, like, again, the old style of like automotive connector. One tool that, actually I'll get to that one in a second, multimeter. You know, it's just an old Craftsman multimeter. Definitely, if you're gonna do any kind of electrical work, you gotta have a multimeter. So many different options, or so many different capabilities of these things. You can, you know, obviously check for AC, DC, check for line continuity, all kinds of tests you can do with these. Gotta have a good multimeter. I actually have a whole box of different connectors to go in use with my multimeter. I got these probes on here right now. I've been working on another project. I got a video coming up where I've been probing some lines, but these tips just go on here. If I can get it lined back up now, of course not. Again, always trying to do things on camera. It's so much easier. These are like just ultra sharp, ultra fine tip type of pin there for probing lines. Again, super handy. But one tool that I have in here isn't an electronics tool. It's this right here. This is great for doing automotive electronic work. If you're like rebuilding cable bundles, like in a car or truck, where you need to remove the loom and the tape that goes over a bunch of different wires, this is actually just a sewing seam ripper. It's actually meant for pulling out stitching. Come on, focus. There, you're not gonna focus, are you? It's just a seam ripper. You can actually put this into a cable bundle. You can just slide it along and cut the loom over wires. So yeah, a couple different little jumper leads that I use. Like I said, I got a whole box of other wiring that actually has different types of jumpers and long wires for troubleshooting electronics. But yeah, really simple, really quick show of the tools that I keep on hand for doing electronic work. So yeah, just a quick look at some of the tools that I keep on hand for doing electronic work. Like I said, this is not an exhaustive list or an exhaustive display of all the tools possible. There's so many different crimpers out there and testers and just all kinds of tools. And when it comes to electronic or electrical, I have a bunch of other tools specifically for electrical that are, you know, insulated screwdrivers and certain pliers and stuff like that that I don't keep here in my drawer. I actually keep them here in like my home repair quick grab bag, which I've done a whole video on that. I'll link to that up here. Again, this is where I keep, you know, insulated screwdrivers. I keep these, you know, Klein multipliers. You know, just, this is where I keep most of my electrical tools, you know, line or circuit tracers, or, you know, what the hell is this thing called? The digital circuit breaker finder, you know. Again, I'll leave a link to that full video up here. But that's pretty much it, guys. Just a real quick look at my electronics tools. Appreciate you for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you on the next one.